What up, YouTubers? Wasprey back again. Today with a movie review. Today we're gonna be reviewing Remote on VHS. Now you may be asking, why on VHS? Well, Remote is kind of funky when it comes to this kind of stuff. It was never in the theater. It was a straight-to-video release, and there has not been a DVD made of this yet. So the only way to legally watch this puppy is on VHS. I'm a big believer in not pirating movies or anything, so I hadn't seen this movie in probably, I don't know, 25 years maybe, or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. And the odd thing about this one, too, beyond being just on VHS, it's released by Moonbeam Pictures, so I don't know if we can see this here, but they are a part of Full Moon, or Full Moon Pictures, and Full Moon Pictures is known for some kind of crazy horror stuff. Some of the stuff you maybe know from Full Moon would be Puppet Master, or they did a movie called Trancers, they did The Seed People, they did Evil Bong more recently, and the Ginger Dead Man more recently. So it's kind of odd that they put out some kid movies. This is back in 1994, I want to say, 1993, when this was released. And like I said, straight to video. And it was the second one in their Moonbeam Pictures line. The first one being Prehysteria, which is also direct to video. And then they did a few other ones after that in the Moonbeam line. But anyways, what this movie is kind of what I remember it being. It's about a kid who loves RC vehicles, cars, airplanes, and other things. And kind of what happens with him, he has all this stuff. He ends up getting in trouble at school, and he goes to hide all of his RC vehicles and other things in this model home that's not open yet. So he goes in the attic of this model home, and it's kind of like a little secret hideout for him. And he's going to hide all of his stuff up there. Well, once he goes up there to hide his stuff, these people come to this house, and it happens to be these three bumbling, I think they call them bumbling robbers, that tried to do a robbery and they messed it up because they're a bunch of goofballs. And these robbers decide, hey, this is a great place because there's nobody around in this area. No other homes are built other than this one model home that's not open yet because nothing else in the area is built. So these robbers decide, hey, we're going to hide out in this house for a few days, let everything clear by, and then we'll get out of here. Well, the problem is the young man is in the attic. Let's remember his name. Randy. Randy's up in the attic, and these three robber guys don't know that, but they're in the lower area, the main floor of the house, and they're just, like I said, trying to hide out. And kind of what happens is, you know, it's like it's kind of like Home Alone in a way. It's kind of like Three Ninjas in the way. Like original Three Ninjas, I think, has the three goofball bad guys, and these guys are definitely goofball bad guys. Probably the people that make this movie the best, at least now as an adult, probably as a kid too, were Tony Longo and Stuart Fratkin, and they are two of the bad guys, and they're just goofy, you know, just your traditional like kids goofy stuff. They fall, they trip, they do, you know, little jokes, and they end up banging each other in the head and all sorts of silly stuff. But what happens is the robbers eventually find out that he's upstairs, and he ends up using all these RC devices to kind of foil these guys. You know, he's got an airplane, and he flies it over a guy's head and zips the hair off his head, you know, and he ties another one up with, he's got an airplane, and he wraps this like ribbon all the way around this guy and ties him up and pours tar on a guy. And it's, you know, it's not as good as I remember it being, but it's not a terrible movie. It's not as, if you're like Three Ninjas, it's not as good as Three Ninjas, but it's in a similar realm, I guess. So I would say this is worth seeing. Is it worth buying the VHS? I mean, it matters what you like, but probably not. It's not the cheapest VHS. It's not ridiculously priced, but you'd be spending $15 on a VHS for sure, which in my mind is kind of a lot for a VHS. But it is a decent movie. Of course, the end, everything works out great. It's just the traditional bad guys messing things up, goofy, silly kind of a thing. On my rating system, I used to rate on skulls. I guess we'll still rate on skulls. I haven't done a rating in a long time. Is 1 to 10. 1 being you had to basically turn it off. 10 being unattainable, pretty much absolute perfection, and 5 being average. So 5 would not be a bad rating. 5 would be average. So an okay movie worth watching. I would probably give this a 5. I would consider this average in my mind. Do I think most people would find it average? Probably not quite average for most people. Doesn't mean most people would think it's bad, but if you're a fan of goofy 90s kids movies, Three Ninjas, Home Alone, this kind of stupid comedy, I guess, maybe worth a watch. Anyways, that's what we got for you today. You guys have a good one.